Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakaradash. Double honors to the elders who preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say, shalom to your Akim out there. And this is a recent news article by Michael Starr, published January 29th, 2023, from the Jerusalem Post, alternative news around the world. And it reads, Russian jets with hypersonic missiles join Belarus exercise. Russian warplanes armed with KINZHAL hypersonic missiles took part in joint exercise in Belarus, the Interfax report on Sunday morning. Ukraine intelligence has warned in October that 3 MiG-31 jets armed with KH-47M2 KINZHAL cruise missiles have been stationed in Belarus. And it says Russian Navy forces also tested its hypersonic missile systems on Wednesday. The Admiral Gorshov frigate conduct a simulation strike on targets with a Zyklon hypersonic missile as the Russian warship transit the Atlantic Ocean. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. Yeah, you're going to see the increase of wars and rumors of wars with the Russia-Ukraine situation, and nations are gearing up these increasing military drills, these joint exercise drills, these joint simulation attack type drills. You know, all these things going to continue to build up. You know, that's why it says in the latter days you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars, of nations gearing up, upgrading their nuclear capability. They're doing military practice, military exercise drills, firing off their missiles, you know, just in case they be under enemy threat. Because, you know, keep in mind, Russia and Belarus, you know, they allies with one another. And Russia and Belarus, you know, they're going to protect one another just in case if Belarus comes under attack from one of their rivals, you know, which is like possibly NATO, you know, in these Western countries. So Russia and Belarus, you know, they're allies with one another, you know, because you already have the increasing war over there in Ukraine. I believe it was the latest airstrike. It was at a hospital, I believe. I think it was like 14 people had died and 11 injured. So that was a new Rush attack. That was yesterday, I believe. And if I can find that, if I can look it up. Slovakia. Yeah, this is the latest one right here. So yeah, this is from Al Jazeera. This was the latest scrape. It says Russia killed at least 14 in a deliberate attack on a hospital in Ukraine. So yeah, while you still got the wars increasing over there in Ukraine, with the Russia-Ukraine situation, with the war still going on, and you have Russia and Belarus, they're doing military exercise drills. And so yeah, this was the latest airstrike attack right here. It says, I'm gonna read it again for edification's sake. It says Russia 14 killed in a deliberate attack on a hospital in Ukraine. Ukrainian struck by U.S. Plied HIMARS rocket hit medical facility and a Russian-held settlement of NOVOAIDAR, Defiance military says. Also, it says, let me rephrase that. It says Russia accused Ukraine forces of a war crime after they alleged shelled a hospital. Oh, so Russia blamed this on Ukraine. Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Salakia about that. Let me reiterate that. And it says Russia accused the Ukrainian military of deliberately attacking a hospital in a Russian-held area in eastern Ukraine. And what it says a war crime that killed 14 people and wounding 24 patients and medical staff. There were no immediate response to the allegations from Ukraine on Saturday. Salakia. It says the attack hit a hospital in the Russian-held settlement of Novarda and was carried out by using a U.S. Plied HIMARS rocket launch system, the Russian Defense Ministry says in a statement. In a deliberate missile strike at a known functioning civilian medical facility is without a doubt a serious war crime by the Kyiv regime. It said all those in the planning and executing of its crime will be found and held accountable. And keep this in mind, I believe, with the U.S. and Germany and allies. I believe from the EU, from the European groups, U.S. and Germany and European groups, they was going to continue to assist Kyiv, Ukraine, in that region over there with military tanks assistance. Because they made that announcement last week. I don't know when the tanks gonna arrive there, but that keeps in mind as well too. And I'm gonna read it again. A deliberate missile strike against a known function civilian medical facility, without a doubt, is a serious war crime by the Kyiv regime. It said all those involved in the planning and executing of this crime will be found and held accountable. It says civilians and military medics has been working in the hospital for many months, treating local people and soldiers. It says Ukraine and its Western allies has accused Russian forces of frequent war crimes in the conflict, in which thousands of civilians has been killed and cities and towns reduced to rubble by artillery air raids. Russia denies targeting civilians. And it says yet another crime. Meanwhile, 3 people were killed and more than a dozen others wounding follow a Russian attack on the city in eastern Ukraine, the local government said on Saturday. So damn, they definitely accusing one another of war crimes. Wow, that shows you that that war in Ukraine, Russia Ukraine situation is heating up. It says the Russian fire at a resident neighborhood damaged military, four multi-story buildings, a hotel, garages, and civilian cars. The Donetsk government governor Paulo Karolinski, if I pronounce his name right, on social media, Karolinsko said rescue workers and police were at the scene helping people and carefully documenting yet another crime by the Russian occupiers on our land. Images posted by Kaliniko's Telegram account shows apartment buildings with blown out windows and the bursts scattered around the care remain of a car. According to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, Russia carried out an attacks on the Konstantinopol with multiple rocket launchers. And it says almost a year, its invasion of Ukraine, Moscow is seeking to seize control of the entire Donetsk region, which it has already declared part of Russia. It says deliberate destroying towns. Ukraine said last week Russian troops stepped up their attacks in the east, particularly of the town of Volgodar and Bakhmut. And the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky describes the battle near Bakhmut in Volgodar, 200 kilometers, 90 miles to south, as a extremely acute. So yeah, I ain't gonna read all the rest. And back to the math, back to the Mark 13 and 7. It says, Mark 13 and 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be. But and shall not be yet. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8. And it reads, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? Because these are the increasing beginning of sorrows of these nations. Are going to continue increasing, going at it with one another. That's why the scripture says, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So we're going to see this continue to increase. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying. This latest attack happened of a Russia attack on the attack, Russia blaming Ukraine for that, because I thought it was the other way around, so I wanted to reiterate that. So this was a Ukraine strike and Russia blaming Ukraine from that, and they look at this as a war crime, As you have 14 killed in a deliberate attack in a hospital in Ukraine, and this happened as of yesterday, so this was a latest attack with the war going on over there in Ukraine, with the Russian-Ukraine war situation in that region. So that shows you it's definitely heating up over there. And with this other news article as well too, out of Belarus, as Russian jets with hypersonic missiles join Belarus exercise. And so with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of the two news articles that I brought out, along with the scriptures to use in reference to these two news articles. This bird came in like so that, once again, hopefully this was edifying. I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom.